Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997, and I'm back this time with my review of the, as you can already tell, MattyCollector.com exclusive by the white mailer, Masters of the Universe Classics Hordak. Now get a quick look at this mailer before we pull Hordak out. Of course, I don't really understand why they put the figures in here. This box comes within another box, so it seems kind of pointless. Get a good look at Hordak here. I actually went on MattyCollector.com for the first time. I was going to try and grab Evil Lyn because I really wanted to start collecting this line. I figured, hey, might as well start with a new figure. And it was absolutely ridiculous. I got on there about 10 minutes beforehand. I was sitting there, I keep clicking refresh. About 4 minutes before the auction actually goes on, it's like, oh, sorry, we're experiencing unusually high levels of traffic right now. Stay on this page, we'll keep refreshing, and eventually you'll get back to the page. 2 minutes after 12, the page finally refreshes, so that took about 6 or 8 minutes to get back to the page, and Evil Lyn was gone. They did, however, have Hordak, and they had the weapons pack, but I just picked up Hordak. But of course, you can see here him in the packaging. Of course, as you can see there, he has the Evil Horde sticker on his box. It looks like his accessories are his staff, his crossbow, and that little bat monster. Not sure if that thing has a name or not. It says Hordak, ruthless leader of the Evil Horde, just in case that wasn't enough for you. The original. So, very nice. I really love the packaging design on these. As you can see, the lightning coming down, Masters of the Universe, the kind of brick overlay here. And on the back, you have a couple of the other pictures of the characters available. And it says Hordak, real name Hector Kor, if I'm saying that right. It says, second-born heir to the Horde Empire, Hector Kor arrived at the planet Eternia while battling the Cosmic Warrior Hero. Taking the name Hordak, he raised an army and challenged the Snake Man for rule over the planet. And although he defeated King Hiss, Grayskull, leader of the free people of Eternia, succeeded in banishing him to the dimension of Despondos. It was there that centuries later, Hordak contacted a young alchemist named Keldor, who we all know as Skeletor, and began teaching him the ways of the dark arts in exchange for freedom from his extra-dimensional prison. Of course, you got the MattyCollector.com logo down here. So, a very nice figure. Definitely, even though I didn't get Evil Lyn, it was definitely a plus to be able to pick this guy up. So that being said, let's pull this bad boy out of the packaging. And here we have Hordak, leader of the Evil Horde, out of packaging. Of course, I've got him holding his staff and his crossbow. His little bat monster, while an interesting little attachment, I really don't know where I'm supposed to put this guy, because in the packaging they kind of have him up here on his shoulder, and there's really no way for him to go there. I'm assuming you would have to sacrifice holding one of the accessories. I've been trying to get him to sit on the crossbow, and while he will in some poses, he usually ends up toppling over. But there is some pretty nice detail on this little guy. So you can, oops, camera's a little off focus. Nice little grimace on him. Very nice. Very reminiscent of how the DC Universe Classics Dr. Midnight fit onto his arm, the little expandable tab. So, panning back out, let's get a quick 360 of Hordak here. Of course, his crossbow, as you can see here, also some very nice detail on it. Kind of like a bat thing. He's got a little missile in his mouth, although it is non-firing, which I really don't mind. I hate it when figures go for gimmicks like that, like launching missile or something, and you end up having to sacrifice articulation or make the figure twice as big, or the accessory twice as big to hold the missile that he's supposed to fire. So, of course, he also has his staff, which he holds well. Of course, very nice. Actually a bit taller than Hordak himself. As you can see, all that nice detail appears the same bat creature, except Hordak's face is on the staff. Very nice detail. So, and once again, Hordak himself has some very nice detail on him. Of course, a very nice face sculpt. Of course, I believe Hordak was more of a She-Ra villain. While he did train Skeletor in the continuity, he always appeared more in the She-Ra show, I think. Of course, I'm just getting back into this line, and my knowledge of Masters of the Universe is far and in between. I mainly know about people like Trapjaw and Triclops, but still very nice. Of course, his articulation, his arms go out to about here. They can both do a 360, spin at the bicep, and have an elbow joint, and both turn at the wrist. Of course, he has this little armband over here. wants to keep sliding off. You have to put that up sometimes, but it's not a big deal. Looks like he would bend at the torso, but his armor is keeping him from doing it. Even though he has this very massive hood on, he still has some pretty decent head articulation turned side to side. And I believe he would have an up and down if not for this hood again, once again. Legs go forward and back slightly. Go out to about here, bend at the knee and ankle joint. Also, I believe they turn right here at the boot. A little hindered by his loincloth, but not terribly. Let's see. The cape is, of course, molded into place. I heard all this armor was removable, but I'm not the kind of guy that wants to break the armor down, swap out parts. Hordak came as he is, and with his accessories, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So actually, see if we can get his little back creature somehow on here. Seems like he needs to go right at the wrist. And I'm worried I'm going to scrape paint off this guy. Actually, I can't really find a good pose on here. I'm sure there is one. I've seen him online posed. I just can't remember exactly how. While you can definitely pose it, put him in hand, I would have liked for him to be able to sit somewhere on his armor. As it stands, I'll probably end up trying to put him on his crossbow just so Hordak will be able to be displayed with all of his accessories. But that being said, getting the Masters of the Universe Classics line is a nightmare. I've spoken with several prominent reviewers on YouTube about this line. I've seen a lot of videos complaining about the treatment that collectors are getting. Mattel has really, gave us the shaft on this one, because there's a you go in, and the way it's been explained to me is what's happening is toy collectors are logging in, and the toy companies will have 10 guys on there, and every order you can have a maximum of 10 figures. So 10 guys logging in there, each buying 10 figures. Doesn't leave much for us collectors. We pretty much have to wait till they show up on eBay or one of the toy sites and pay more. If you do find these, are lucky enough to get these on MattyCollector.com, which honestly, don't hold your breath. It's pretty much a nightmare. They're going to run you $20 plus about $8 in change shipping. So you're going to pay right under $30 for these figures. Now, Hordak is a fantastic figure. I love the way they've designed the new sculpts. I love the fact they're a bit taller than the old ones. Well, actually, they're a good bit taller than the old ones. A lot more articulation, great accessories, great detail. This line has got a lot to offer. Although it does appear... Hold on one second. It appears like I've got a little paint quality there on my... Unless it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, let's look at the other side really quick. No. Looks like I just got a smudge on mine. That's strange. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous getting these offline. Collectors are really getting the shaft, but the figures are great. Hordak is actually one that's, maintained his value on eBay. You're only going to pay about $30, maybe a tiny bit more with shipping offline. This is a great figure. If you're a Masters of the Universe fan and you haven't picked up this line, if you haven't got this guy, I highly recommend him. And this is JTrain997 saying I'll see you soon, YouTube. Hey guys, I'm sorry for the tack on again. It's actually been a couple days. I haven't uploaded the video yet. And I've had this guy on a shelf, and I've noticed he has a real problem holding his crossbow. I keep putting it in his hand, and I thought at first it was just the fact that I kept trying to pose his little bat monster on there, but he has some pretty big issues just holding it straight forward. As you can see, it keeps rotating and tilting. It's kind of ridiculous. Now, that's not to say if you want to fight with it, it won't go where you're going, but it won't get where you want it to be. But I've really ran into a lot of problems, and it does warrant mentioning. Now, I suppose that's not a big deal, because now, hey, at least you can put the bat on his hand as a backup, but really, like I said, the quality control we had, the quality with the way they're releasing these to us and how hard it is to get them, and then the fact that you're paying about $30 a figure, which is not a small chunk of change for any figure, and you wind up with difficulty with him holding his accessories, that really should be taken care of. But really, that's my only gripe with the figure at all. Somewhat considerable. That might be a deal breaker for some people. But that being said, this is JTrain997, and I'll see you soon, YouTube.